Music. Ever pondered why the gentlest souls in your life often shoulder the most burdensome loads? Those who invariably respond affirmatively, who grin despite utter fatigue, who dread displeasing others. Outwardly, they appear as paragons of virtue, but inwardly, they're frequently grappling with voids of emptiness, subdued irritation, and a persistent query that shadows their thoughts. Why doesn't constant courtesy always foster a sense of being cherished? Why does inoffensiveness occasionally render you overlooked? This conundrum of courtesy forms a snare that countless individuals stumble into unwittingly. Since childhood, numerous folks are instilled with the notion that politeness reigns supreme. Stay courteous, shun debates, evade disputes, prioritize others' needs above your own. Music society thrives on sympathy, understanding, and teamwork. Yet, there's a subtle boundary separating empowering, revitalizing benevolence from depleting, self-effacing courtesy. Once we breach that boundary, politeness ceases to embody resilience and morphs into mere inoffensiveness. In a realm that seldom honors inoffensiveness, this can evolve into an unseen confinement. Pause and reflect. Have you encountered an individual perpetually compliant who withholds personal views, who beams amid unease and offers apologies without wrongdoing? Were you magnetically pulled toward them, or did they subtly recede into obscurity? The irony lies in how folks esteem benevolence, yet frequently bypass those who strain excessively to avoid rippling the calm. Courtesy might forge security, but it seldom garners esteem. It may yield fleeting endorsement, but rarely forges profound bonds. Herein resides the snare. Experts in psychology have extensively examined this interplay. Findings indicate that individuals rating extremely high in agreeableness, the temperament linked closest to politeness, are typically popular, yet not invariably esteemed. Organizational psychology research, in particular, discloses that compliant workers face lower odds of ascending to managerial roles, not due to skill deficits, but because their inoffensiveness prompts subconscious perceptions of inadequacy in managing disputes or tough choices. Sole reliance on politeness fails to convey robustness. Rather, it signals you're reliable, yet possibly unimpactful, benevolent, yet perhaps unremarkable. Nevertheless, for vast numbers, politeness seems the most secure path to navigate existence. We dread rebuff, so we beam. We dread clashes, so we concur. We dread censure, so we mute our expressions. Gradually, unbeknownst to us, our genuine essence becomes entombed beneath veneers of decorum. We convince ourselves we're upright citizens. Yet, truthfully, we're often rendering ourselves unseen. And such obscurity exacts a toll. That toll manifests as unfulfilled desires, silenced utterances, and a creeping bitterness toward the facade we don. This is where the conundrum intensifies. Precisely those who contort themselves to earn affection frequently endure the deepest isolation. They dispense without end, yet evade true recognition. They sidestep confrontations, yet inwardly yearn for advocates in their corner. They strive for inoffensiveness, thereby smoothing out the contours of their humanness. Yet those contours are what render us tangible to one another. For humanity isn't designed as smooth, yielding plains. We're crafted with layers, nuances, fervor, and indeed, even discord. Absent these, bonds lose their vitality. Without that vitality, others gradually distance themselves, oblivious to the cause. But what prompts us to ensnare ourselves initially? For plenty, it originates in youth. Certain youngsters mature, absorbing that affection hinges on conditions. They're prized highest for silence, compliance, or utility. Perhaps a guardian withheld warmth upon their assertions, or an educator lauded them as the model pupil free of disruptions. With time, the youth internalizes that acceptance demands repressing their core identity. They barter genuineness for validation. Such an early imprint can burgeon into an enduring cycle of self-denial, masked as politeness. Though it seems noble externally, it famishes the spirit within. The thinker Friedrich Nietzsche once observed, "The most dangerous man is the one who has no enemies." He wasn't extolling strife. His point was that existing without ever irking, without establishing boundaries or championing principles, equates to a diluted form of being. Authentic vitality demands resistance. Genuine rapport demands candor. When we evade these under politeness's banner, we don't grow more endearing. We turn more erasable. And that's precisely why the inoffensiveness snare proves so perilous. It appears appealing on the surface. Politeness draws praise, grins, short-term nods of approval. But conversely, it deprives you of the admiration born from sincerity. Folks admire those who hold steadfast, who voice convictions, who can decline when required. Being overly agreeable without limits isn't true power. It's just going along to get along. Over time, that kind of yielding builds up silent resentment. And here's the twist. Our desperate attempts to dodge disapproval by staying perpetually polite often backfire, inviting the very dismissal we're trying to escape. Folks can tell when someone's holding back, not showing their full self. They pick up on the disconnect between what you say and how you really feel. They might not put it into words, but that lack of genuineness creates shaky bonds. We imagine we're putting others first, yet what they experience is a barrier. Without knowing the real you, they can't form deep ties. Politeness stripped of sincerity acts as a barrier, not a pathway. Hold on a second, though. You might be wondering. Quote 1. The issue arises when agreeableness serves as a facade, when it means burying honesty to keep things smooth. Genuine compassion packs a punch because it's paired with straightforwardness. It involves clear limits. It honors your own needs. It doesn't render you innocuous. It makes you authentic. Still, embracing this change feels daunting. Stepping away from the safety of being inoffensive means courting disagreement. It invites criticism. It plunges you into the uncertainty of genuine visibility. And true visibility carries the chance of being turned away. Yet, at its core, this is the key insight. Without embracing that vulnerability, we miss out on authentic affection, genuine admiration, or deep inclusion. As psychologist Carl Rogers put it, quote 2. By revealing your complete self, flaws and all, you invite others to engage with you on a profound level. In those interactions, something transformative emerges. You discover you weren't designed to merely please. You were built to embrace your full humanity. That said, plenty of people shy away from this road. The inoffensive zone seems secure. It feels reliable. But that security exacts a subtle toll. The toll is bitterness. The toll is an existence shaped by everyone else's expectations, sidelining your own. The toll is spotting a grin in the mirror, but sensing a subtle melancholy lurking beneath. The melancholy of someone who's sacrificed too much just to seem virtuous. This leaves us with a pivotal query. Is it really compassionate to diminish yourself for the illusion of peace, or does it shortchange both you and those around you? When you mute your desires, conceal your reality, or swap sincerity for validation, you rob the world of encountering the authentic version of you. And maybe that version, the one brimming with fervor, viewpoints, and substance, is precisely what others have been eager to connect with. The catch in excessive agreeableness is that it offers just sufficient rapport to get by, but falls short of letting you flourish. It shields you, yet leaves you wanting. Countless individuals linger in this limbo, persuading themselves that protection equals joy. But at heart, there's a yearning for something greater, a desire to be understood, not merely endured, to be cherished, not just approved, to be valued, not simply tolerated. That's the reason I label it the inoffensiveness snare. The world doesn't celebrate bland harmlessness. It reveres goodness fused with resilience. Consider the figures you admire above all. Are they perpetually compliant, avoiding any waves, forever prioritizing tranquility? Or are they compassionate yet bold? Individuals who support you in tough times, but also deliver the tough love when it's needed most. That blend is uncommon, yet captivating, as it uncovers someone who's both dependable and genuine. And that equilibrium is what renders a person indelible. Time for a bit of behavioral science. Researchers have explored the warmth competence framework for evaluating people. Warmth reflects how approachable, amiable, or reliable someone appears. Competence covers how effective, robust, or sharp they seem. Curiously, if warmth is strong but competence weak, others might enjoy their company without fully esteeming them. If competence shines but warmth lags, respect may come, but affection won't. The ideal zone, where influencers, innovators, and close relations excel, is the fusion of both. That's what sparks inspiration, builds trust, and leaves a lasting mark. Mere agreeableness sans backbone delivers only partial impact. Nevertheless, so many tilt solely toward warmth, worried that displaying resolve, limits, or firm beliefs will alienate people. But ironically, the reality flips that script. Lacking backbone, warmth seems unfinished. Without limits, compassion appears superficial. Without sincerity, agreeableness rings empty. The ones we cherish and honor aren't those who never ruffle feathers, but those who support us candidly, even amid discomfort. This prompts a profounder inquiry. What does authentic compassion entail? It's not about refusing to decline. It's not about suppressing your views. Not standing up for what you value or staying quiet when it truly counts isn't real compassion. Genuine kindness involves sharing your honest perspective with empathy. It's about voicing disagreement respectfully, loving someone deeply enough to confront them, and supporting others without sacrificing your own needs. That's true kindness, that's real power, and that's the escape from the trap of being just, quote 3. But I get it, you might be wondering why so many of us hold on to this people-pleasing habit anyway. The root cause? Fear. Fear of rejection, fear of arguments, fear of driving away connections if we reveal our authentic selves. Being nice acts as a protective barrier, ensuring we keep the acceptance we so desperately want. Yet, there's a steep price to pay. By chasing universal approval, we forfeit our self-respect. Ultimately, betraying your own values inflicts the most profound hurt. Picture this scenario. You spend your entire existence agreeing with others, accommodating, grinning through it all. Folks adore you. They call you amazing. But alone in the quiet hours, reflecting on your decisions, you see that most weren't truly yours. They were echoes of others' expectations, lives on loan, aspirations handed down, and suddenly, the praise rings hollow. Why chase admiration if it costs you your identity? That insight stings, yet it frees you, ushering in a fresh approach to existence, one where empathy isn't a disguise but an intentional act, where mercy isn't frailty but strength, where superficial politeness gives way to genuineness. This transformation starts with a seemingly basic skill, mastering the art of refusal. Saying no terrifies those stuck in niceness mode. It seems abrasive, self-centered, downright mean. In truth, though, no is what makes your yes valuable. Agreeing indiscriminately dilutes every affirmation, but delivering no with grace and firmness elevates your commitments. They gain substance, authenticity. Limits aren't barriers, they're gateways that guide people to engage with you honorably. The irony? When you ditch the constant agreeability for sincerity, relationships don't shatter, they deepen. Now, connections form with the unfiltered you, not the polished facade. Bonds with your true self endure longer, feel more vibrant, and outlast those founded merely on courtesy. Let's revisit the psychology angle briefly. The zygote effect, the concept we touched on before regarding unfinished cycles, extends beyond narratives to interpersonal dynamics. Concealing aspects of your emotions or thoughts leaves gaps that others intuitively detect. The cycle remains unresolved, yet when you share openly, exposing your happiness, irritation, or reality, you complete it. That completion fosters genuine closeness, evolving casual ties into lasting friendships and profound alliances. Embracing realness demands bravery. And bravery isn't fearlessness, it's prioritizing honesty over dread. Each instance of vulnerability pulls you further from the safety of harmlessness. You embrace the contradiction and reshape it. You're no longer merely agreeable. You're compassionate, resilient, unforgettable. No longer bland, yet still fundamentally good. That's the essence that truly captivates others. Perhaps you've felt this shift personally. A time when you broke your silence after enduring quiet too long, uttered no after endless yeses, or confessed your genuine emotions at last. It might have been daunting, but observe closely. Respect from others grew afterward. Some even cherished you more, as candor breeds esteem, and esteem amplifies affection. The rejection you dreaded often repels the wrong fits while attracting the right ones nearer. This reveals the core of the niceness dilemma. Society doesn't crave your inoffensiveness. It yearns for your full vitality, your joy, your passion, your insights, your limits, every bit. Suppressing those elements deprives people of truly knowing you, but unveiling them offers a treasure that mere agreeableness can't match, the richness of your authentic being. So what does this mean for you? Maybe a personal challenge. Next time peacekeeping urges a forced smile, pause and reflect. Am I showing compassion or fading into the background? When fear tempts you toward another yes, question, is this generosity from the heart or dread of dismissal? When you stifle your honesty, probe, whose validation drives my life, theirs or my own? These inquiries challenge us, but they're vital, unlocking a path beyond perpetual politeness to heartfelt empathy. And in embodying that true empathy, a wondrous change unfolds. You continue illuminating lives, but now it's an inner radiance, not an imitation. You no longer seek validation in their good graces. Instead, you foster balance, one grounded in honesty rather than quiet avoidance. You continue to offer support, yet you also welcome it in return. Gradually, the burden that once pressed down on you starts to ease, for you come to see that your role wasn't to shoulder everything through constant compliance. Rather, it was to mold the world by embracing your true self entirely. Such is the irony of being agreeable. Playing it safe with inoffensiveness might seem secure, but it keeps you invisible. Genuine compassion, though it carries uncertainty, opens the door to the admiration and connection you've craved. Ultimately, that vulnerability pays off. The real sorrow isn't facing disapproval. It's navigating existence without ever being deeply understood. And the true boon isn't perpetual politeness. It's embodying your humanity completely, raw, authentic, and vibrant.